your resume was shortlisted, you took the tips I shared in the previous video about clearing the recruiter round and you aced the interview. Now it's time to meet the hiring manager. You've come so far and I will help you get to the finish line. Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of our series Job Search Simplified. Hi, I'm Priya and welcome back to our channel. And if you're new today, it's OKR is a content platform for South Asian immigrants and we aim to educate, entertain and empower them. So here is what we are going to cover in this video, a typical hiring process from here on. What is the hiring manager looking for? The best trick to identify the questions that can be asked and how to prepare for these answers. So let's get started. I'm sure you're wondering what the hiring process is like from here on. Generally, it varies from company to company. In most cases, the recruiter will let you know about the entire process at the start or end of the recruiter round. Regardless, based on the company, after the recruiter round, you will have one round with the hiring manager. This is the person who will be your direct manager if you are hired. In some large companies, after the hiring manager, you get to meet a few other colleagues. These colleagues could be from the same team or cross-functional teams that you will usually be working and interacting with regularly. Some companies also like to give you a take-home assignment during this process. Pre-COVID, a lot of companies used to call you to the office and make you spend a day at the campus interacting with a lot of other colleagues. That practice has almost entirely been discontinued. If you are applying for a technical role, you will definitely have a technical round that is solely to test your technical skills. For example, the Google technical interview for software engineers is considered to be one of the most difficult rounds to crack. Now, there is plenty of content in the internet to help you crack the technical round. This video is not about that. Your hiring manager and colleagues that interview you from the hiring panel meet and share their notes with each other and decide who they want to extend an offer to once all the rounds of the shortlisted candidates are conducted. Their decision is conveyed to the recruiter and then the recruiter either emails you with an offer or sets up a call with you. Yours when you have the opportunity to negotiate your final salary. However, for smaller or mid-sized companies, the process might not be so elaborate, so you might have 2-3 interviews and can get fairly quickly an offer if you have demonstrated that you have the right skills and you are the right fit for that team. Don't worry, I will create an entire video on salary negotiation too. Now let's understand what the hiring manager is looking for first. If you search for what are hiring managers looking for, you will see 5 or 6 things that generally pop up. Passion, communication, fit, preparation, resourcefulness, willing to learn, leadership, etc. Now, of course, the hiring manager is looking for all of these traits in one person. If you are interviewing at Amazon, they are looking for 14 Amazon values, and for Google, they are looking for Googliness amongst other things like role-related knowledge, general cognitive ability, and leadership. Since this is not just about cracking big tech, but any interview across industries, let's discuss holistically what you must know to crack any interview moving forward. Across most roles and industries, hiring managers are essentially looking for 3 things. You are capable of doing what the position demands. You are interested in the kind of work the job requires. You will fit well within the team and the organization. It is as simple as that. Now let's understand each of them. You are capable. Of course, there is a learning curve to each job, but most hiring managers expect you to join and start delivering within the first 3 months itself. This means that you should have the necessary hard and even the soft skills required to do the job. In most cases, it also means that you have experience doing this and you will be able to talk about your experience during the interview. It also means that you are well versed with any tools that you are required to do the job. You will have to talk specifically about the skills and experience you would bring to this particular job. These skills and experiences aren't limited to what you did in your previous job. It is the transferable skills that you gained even through things like volunteering, hobbies, or in any other industry that you think is important. Next, your interest. While your capability to do the job is important, your interest to do it is also just as important for the hiring manager. They want to see that you are, for lack of a better word, passionate about your job and your industry. They want to see if offered you will accept the job and it's not just because you want a paycheck. Which is why what you say is important, but how you say it is going to be equally important. The simplest tip to show that you are actually genuinely interested in the role is to be genuinely interested. If you are interested, you will be prepared. You will research the company, the role, and I'm pretty sure if you know their name, you will even stalk them online on LinkedIn. And lastly, your fit in the team, everything else being constant. Your fit in the team will be the deciding factor for the hiring manager. But what exactly is fit? Fit means that you understand and can easily adapt to the company culture. For example, if you are someone who believes in hierarchy and processes, chances are you might not be a great fit for an early stage startup. On the other hand, if you are extremely casual casual and very ad hoc in terms of how you react, and your company expects you to follow a process, then you might not be a great fit. But this doesn't mean that you are required to be exactly similar to everyone else in the team. There are just different examples of identifying it. To check if you are a good fit for the team, the hiring manager is evaluating how you would complement the team. Different skills, different ideas, perspectives, how you're enhancing the team's ability. At your job interview, you may want to show that you are comfortable voicing your ideas, and at the same time, you're a team player and will work cooperatively with various people who already work in the team. Whether or not if you're a good fit within the organization isn't necessarily something you can fake, and even if you can fake it, eventually you won't be happy in that role. Now that we have understood what the hiring manager is looking for, let's understand how they look for these things. Of course, by asking you questions. And here's the best trick to identify the questions that you will be asked. If you Google common hiring manager interview questions, you will get a list of questions. There is an article from Indeed that has 31 questions, and sure, that's a great way to prepare for interviews. But there is also a smarter way to prepare for interviews, because you already can have the questions that will be asked. Yes, we got that right. You already have the questions that will be asked, and they are hidden in the job description, the responsibilities, and the qualification section, to be precise. How is that possible? See, you probably won't believe it, but most organizations actually put in some effort behind crafting a job description. Of course, there are some companies that don't pay enough attention to it, and there are ones that actually take months to find the right person because the recruitment team keeps sending them candidates based on the job description, and if that's not correct, then the whole process just goes for a toss. Now that I have revealed the questions are hidden in the job description, here's the trick to identify these questions. Let's understand this with an example. Here is a job description for a creative video producer at TikTok. Now, the responsibility sections of the job description exactly tells you what you will be doing if you join this team. And like I said earlier, most hiring managers are simply looking to understand if you will be able to do these tasks, you will enjoy doing these tasks, will others in the team enjoy working with you. So all you need to do is take each bullet point of the responsibility section and try to form a question and test your ability to perform that task. Let's try a couple of them here. Produce compelling and impactful video content for various outputs, which is socials, digitals, events, email marketing, and partner marketing, from concept to delivery, incorporating TikTok style and tone and vibe. Let's break this down. Here, if I was the hiring manager, I would ask you something like this. Tell me about your experience of creating video content for various marketing channels from concept to delivery. Here's another version. Can you describe the process for developing a video concept from start to finish, including how you incorporate a brand style and tone? Now let's look at one of the qualifications. Minimum 5 years of experience in video production from concept to execution, with the ability to think with a creator mentality, incorporating TikTok style, social first ideas, and creative production styles into B2B content. If you notice carefully, this is exactly similar to the responsibility we just covered. So let's take another one. Excellent communication and interpersonal skills and experience working collaboratively with cross-functional teams. Now, before I share a question for this point, I want to highlight that this is probably one of the most common responsibilities or qualifications required for most of the jobs here in the US. That's because most jobs require you to work with multiple people cross-functionally and manage relationships, which require great interpersonal skills. So the question that could be asked can look something like this. How do you collaborate with cross-functional teams to ensure that the video content aligns with overall business goals? Or a classic question would be, tell us about a time when you faced an issue working with someone not on your team, and how did you resolve it? Now, going through each and every point of the responsibility section for a job description can be challenging and time-consuming. Luckily, we are in the age of artificial intelligence, and we can use their help for this entire process. So here's what you need to do. Go to ChatGPT or Gemini, whatever you prefer, but stick to one and copy-paste the responsibilities and qualifications in the section and ask them to share questions based on what it is. And here's what you will get for this role. Now you have all the possible questions that could be asked for this interview. All you have to do is prepare. Some people would say, I've already seen this on the internet. Tell us how to actually prepare answers for these questions. Don't worry, I'll share exactly that. So let's look at the questions first. Now carefully look at all the questions. What is the common link in all these questions? All these questions are about sharing your experience, your process, your techniques, and how do you do something. The common factor is actually you. You've already done almost most of the things that the job requires you to do. So all you need to do is look back at your experience and share a true story about your experience performing these tasks. Now this is what you should do. Take a question. For example, let's take this one here. Can you share an example of a time when you collaborated with a cross-functional team to successfully deliver a video project? I'm taking this question because this is also a very common common question. Now, of course, you've created a video before and you've worked with multiple people across different teams to create that video. Now, all you have to do is tell that story in a way or in an experience that the hiring manager can actually understand. The most common mistake that most people make is that they don't prepare for these stories in advance. They think that they can wing it and end up mumbling throughout the interview, and that is something that I have seen on the other side of the table plenty of times. Now you can use any of these answering formats that work for you. It could be STAR or CAR, which is context, action, result, or any other method that you prefer. But the idea is to keep your story coherent, and that comes from practice. So it's always best to write down the story and say it out loud to continue practicing. Here is an example. The context is, in a recent project, my team was tasked with creating a video for a significant employee well-being campaign within a tight 2-week deadline. Action: to ensure efficient production, I assembled a dedicated team of experienced professionals. While they focused on scripting and pre-production, I actively coordinated with the legal, accounting, and campaign teams to streamline approvals. To meet the aggressive timeline, I maintained open communication with all the stakeholders, emphasizing the need for expedited feedback. What was the result? Despite the short turnaround, we successfully delivered the videos 2 days ahead of schedule. This campaign was exceptionally well received, with the video garnering over 100,000 organic views within the first 2 days. This accomplishment was a direct result of effective teamwork and clear communication. Now, I'm pretty sure every video produced has some story to share, but you can't share it in a moment's notice if you haven't practiced it or have said it out loud and practiced it multiple times. Therefore, it is very important to write down your stories. And here is the biggest secret. You don't have to create 10-12 stories for each question. All you need is great 5 stories that you can make tweaks and adjustments to based on the questions that you're getting asked. For example, the same answer can be shared if the question was, tell us about a time when you produced a video under tight deadlines. Or can you share a time when you faced a challenge in a video project and how did you overcome it? For the second one, all you need to do is add an extra layer of challenge. It could be getting that last minute approval from the CMO, that you had to write a script for yourself, whatever that is, just be smart about creating that one tweak. The idea is to have a main story and then make required adjustments while answering these questions. So, cross-functional collaboration, short turnaround time, faced a challenge, they all have the same story. Similarly, write down 4 or 5 more stories from your work experience and try to fit them with each of the questions and make tweaks based on the question. And keep practicing them. Narrate the story to your spouse, make adjustments where required until you feel confident that you can share these stories as answers whenever you are asked in the interview. Trust me, if you are able to do this activity, you will be able to approach every interview with a lot of confidence. Now, most interview processes have multiple rounds and you will probably have a couple of more after meeting with the hiring manager. But the hiring team usually divides aspects they're going to test in a candidate between themselves. So if you've prepared fully for all aspects, you should be good to go. Now, the interview process for highly technical roles, such as that of a software developer, will be slightly different because for those roles, you will also be asked to demonstrate the actual skills with an assignment. But each company will definitely have a behavioral round where a part of these questions will be asked. Now, I hope you're able to take a lot with you from this video and I hope it was helpful. I've shared everything I know about preparing for interviews in this series to help you all. All I ask for in return is to like this video and subscribe to our channel. In the next video, I'll share tips to negotiate your salary. So don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon so that you'll get notified. Now, what are the questions that you were asked and need help answering? Share them below and I will provide feedback and help you prepare. Good luck, and remember, if things aren't going your way, it's okay, and they will eventually turn around. Until next time, this is Priya signing off. Have a wonderful day.